It's Zena, your best friend who loves horror, and today guys, I'm going to be talking to you about pets. They just don't include pets in horror movies like they used to. Coming up with this list really made me realize we need more four-legged friends in horror. It's definitely not hard to find loyal pets in other genres, because immediately what comes to mind, that darn cat, Look Who's Talking To, Air Bud. But majority of the four-legged pets in horror, it's like they might be loyal to the wrong characters. Think The Omen, Cujo, Don't Breathe. Well, today I'll be sharing with you my top four-legged pets in horror. So the one we're going to be talking about is Clovis from Sleepwalkers, and this movie was made in 1992, directed by Mick Garris. Sleepwalkers revolves around a mom and a son who are a shape-shifting species that feed on the force of the life of human female virgins. Clovis is owned by a police officer by the name of Andy Smith, who's played by Dan Martin, and rides shotgun in his patrol car. How awesome is that? I remember watching this movie when I was only 5 years old, and I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was so blown away by this cat Clovis. It was insane. He was just so loyal. He had so much heart and super brave. But just as a warning, this movie actually has a lot of violent scenes towards cats, and I recommend that if you are a major cat lover, animal lover, someone with a heart, please consider that before you watch. And I did read that there were no cats harmed, during the shooting of this film. Moving right along to number 2, we're going to be talking about Nanook from the teen comedy horror The Lost Boys, 1987. Two teen brothers move with their mother and dog to a small beach town of Santa Carla. Soon the two discover that the area is somewhat of a sanctuary for vampires. I previously spoke about The Lost Boys a couple of months ago in a video called 3 Horror Movies About Love. It was around Valentine's Day. But today I'd like to talk about Nanook and his loyalty towards Sam. Besides from having an awesome name, the reason why Nanook is on this list is because he was very loyal to his owner, Sam. There's a particular scene that will forever stay with me when Sam is just, having a little bath, having a good time, and his brother is feeling a little bit hungry, and he tries to attack Sam. But Nanook is there to chomp on his hand and save his brother. It's not his brother, to save his owner. Oh my God. But seriously though, Nanook is loyal, he can sense vampires, and on top of that, he's so cute. Look at that face.
Look at it.
There is another dog in this movie named Thorn, and he's owned by Max. I won't spoil it for you guys just in case if there's someone who has not seen this movie. And moving right along to number 3, we're going to be talking about Mr. Whiskers from The Voices from 2014. Ryan Reynolds stars in this role as Jerry, an upbeat man who's schizophrenic who chooses not to take his meds. He lives in an apartment with his dog Bosco and his cat Mr. Whiskers. Because Jerry doesn't like to take his meds, he has delusions and hallucinations of his pets talking to him. So when it comes to Mr. Whiskers, do not be fooled by his cuteness, because I know that I was. He is very violent and he has a very dirty mouth. So you're probably wondering, Zena, why is he on this list? Because honestly, every single time Mr. Whiskers is on the screen, he kind of steals the show. Some of the stuff that he says is pretty funny, it's ridiculous, it's over the top. I love it, okay? And then also, when things start to get a little bit bloody with other people and Jerry, Mr. Whiskers is kind of more encouraging towards him. There is that same trope that we see often, because with the dog Bosco, he's kind of the good guy trying to the voice of reason. But then Mr. Whiskers, the cat, it's just he is just an evil, foul mouth meanie McMeanie pants. And we've seen that before, but it still works in this film because it is, after all, a comedy horror. Alright guys, so we made it to number 4, and we're going to be talking about Max from Man's Best Friend, 1993. While investigating animal cruelty at a genetic research facility, a reporter named Lori sets free and falls in love with a dog named Max. Despite Max's psychotic, homicidal tendencies towards everyone besides her, the two develop a really close bond, and it's kind of sweet. There's a particular scene that stands out for me, and that's when this mugger pretty much snatches Lori's purse. And you know what? Max, he retrieves her purse. He also violently murders the mugger, but he got the purse back. Eventually, it's revealed that Max is a genetically altered dog who has pieces of DNA from different animals. Animals like snakes, chameleons, birds of prey. And this is all to enhance his speed, his strength, and his senses. Hear me out on this. The reason why Max is on this list is because all he wanted was Lori's love. And yes, he was doing some crazy things. He even brutally murdered people. But he did it all for her. You know, so what if he scared the paper boy? He was aggressive, he was homicidal, but I love him. So I decided to give you a bonus because I couldn't just keep it at 4. So we're going to be talking about Thackery Binks from Hocus Pocus 1993. Once a teen with a ponytail from the 17th century who was just trying to rescue his little sister from 3 witches, Thackery Binks. He was transformed into an immortal cat, and after losing his sister, he becomes determined to never fail again and guard the black flame candle on All Hallows Eve. I love the movie Hocus Pocus, so I had to include Binks on this list because he was so awesome. This is actually one of the movies that made me want to have a black cat, and I have a black cat. I was gonna, bring her on camera, but she's eating right now and she doesn't like when anyone disturbs her. So I just, I leave her alone. I've always felt that with a cat like Binks, it's like pretty cool because even though he used to be a real human, it's kind of like you can have a conversation with him. I sometimes talk to my cat. I don't feel like she can understand me and I can't understand her. Imagine if you could have a regular conversation with your pet. You guys can understand each other. Like, I really do feel like we would be best friends or we'll end up hating each other. Because who even knows what my cat even says about me? She probably has no respect for me at all. But you know what? It's fine. Alright guys, so that's my list of the top 4-legged pets in horror. I hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment and let me know what are some of your favorite 4-legged pets in horror. Alright. See you guys next time. And on top of that, he's so cute. Look at that face.
Look at it.